You gotta put your past behind you. Look, kid. Bad things happen, and you can't do anything about it, right? Wrong! When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world.
Well, that's not what I was told.
And maybe you need a new lesson. Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata.
What?
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Yo, what's going on, peeps?
He's already mid-flirting with you, Feds.
This guy, man. This guy, look at this dude.
I see E in the chat.
Love it.
E, I hope the pre-pod bangers were good for your taste. Oh yeah, I see it there. Oh yeah, Jazzy Tunes. Reggie's in the chat. I see Diz in here. Man, it's a banger. Alright, well, I guess I'll start it off with, ladies and gents, we are back for another episode of the Clout Fets Show. I'm joined by the one and only, the GOAT, the man himself, the Fetty Wap. How is the Fetty Wap today?
Man, today was a busy motherfucking day. I am exhausted. I'm gonna tell you, between the fucking school, work, and just trying to keep up. It's a lot. There, my professors are handing me with so much paper. It's insane, but we keeping up though. Keeping up though.
Yeah,
Other than that, man, I'm just excited about the upcoming future games that we're gonna see later on in the playoffs. Finishing this season of Major 1 was pretty heavy. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I don't know how you feeling. How are you? How is Mr. Cloud doing?
Man, I'm fantastic. It's been, same old, just big chilling, man. And I'm just excited as you are. All the same though. Watched Super Bowl yesterday. What were your thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah. I thought it was a very, very boring game, but as expected, I thought just when your defense is very much so identical to the 2015 Seahawks defense. I think that and then Patriots playing a very soft schedule. I thought it was very lopsided. But Seattle just deserves it. I think Seattle was the better team. Mike McDonald just played great as a coach, and great personnel work. Just unbelievable job from Seattle. They deserve it. I think the most out of anybody in the league, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a boring game. I was like, man, what the fuck? I would have hoped that Drake May would have done something more with it, but that's it. But yeah, man. I guess we could jump into it here. I'm gonna load up the hold on now, I have to find it real quick. Obviously, I will load up for everyone here right now, real quick. I think this was the final week of the season. Yes, it was. This was the final week for the season. We had a lot of matches going on here this week. A lot of forfeits too. I think towards the end there, I think we ended the season on a coin toss once again between you guys and New Jersey. You guys had a big coin toss. I texted Ian. I said, "What a classic way to end the regular season with a coin toss." Because I think we did that the last couple majors as well with a coin toss as well, which was elite. But however, the final standings as shown here, as I whip them back up again. Obviously, in Pool A, Toronto has taken Pool A with a 5-6 record. Kyoto could not. I don't know what happened between them and Bermuda. I don't know the inside story about that, but I think Bermuda beat them 3-0. And then obviously Tawana also forfeited both their matches, so it gave Toronto and Kyoto one apiece. So Toronto has a bye in Pool A, which then leaves Kyoto, Texas, and Minneapolis to play in pool play, which we're going to get into very shortly. Obviously, over in Pool C, we had Dallas clinch. They were the first team to clinch. And then obviously sending Bermuda, Detroit, and Tawana to the pool of death. Any shocking thoughts from this week, Feds, that you had?
I think the Kyoto disbanding or whatever happening, I think that was probably the biggest thing. The Bermuda Toronto game, I think that was this week, correct?
Yep.
Or was it last week?
No, that was
this week.
That was last week. Yep.
Last week. Okay. Then other than that,
from considering all the matches we see, I mean, me and you casted a few matches too that were super good. I mean, we get into talking to New Jersey in a little bit. Same with Paris. Before we jump into the pool play, but yeah, no, that was definitely a big match there. A big five map series.
I don't think any games really stood out to me this week. I think it was just kind of like the tail end. I think everything was pretty much set in stone. The coin flips were a little, I had the day off. I had actually the week off, I guess, because of the weird game with Miami and Las Vegas, and then of course New Jersey on the coin flip. So I just I had an easy week. I don't think anything. It's just interesting to see Minneapolis taking the 2-9 when I had said that they weren't even going to sniff a win. So it's just good to see them kind of get two. But Texas and Kyoto 4-7 tied was probably the coolest thing, craziest thing I would think in Pool A at least. The games itself this week were just kind of towards the tail end, so probably everybody was just exhausted. But
yeah, that's true. I think the only thing coming into this final week, and I think we mentioned on it last week, that the only interesting pool was Pool A and seeing how that turned out. Obviously, it got the anticlimactic end that we probably all didn't want to see. Obviously, like you said, with Kyoto disbanding, giving Bermuda that win. I mean, it's a huge win for Bermuda for their seeding for pool play. They get ahead they shrug ahead of Detroit in second place. But yeah, no, I think last week was Pool A, was super interesting, and this is exactly how me and you had it planned out to show, like, this is how we visualized this back a week ago. So obviously it was a little anticlimactic, but as being a member of the Toronto Frost, I'm happy that we did get this bye. We definitely did. I seen Vortex say it in the chat. We definitely scraped by. For this bye pool.
Definitely tough.
Nonetheless, we did get the bye, and I think that as me as a team owner, that's what's important here for us.
Hey, you get the divisional win, man. I mean, that's like I said. There's teams that go in 7-9 and win the fucking divisional round or the division, and they get pretty fun to playoffs. So you never know what kind of fuel gets lit on fire.
True.
In the coming playoffs for Toronto. So
and then moving over to the second set of pools. I didn't mean to cut you off all of a sudden.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so this was the final standings for Pool B and Pool D. Obviously, OVO and Miami get the bye. Miami takes first place overall in overall seeding. That was confirmed by E. So Miami pretty much won out the regular season this year, leading with a 9-2, 28-13 map count. I think that's followed by OVO in second. And then Dallas would take third for seeding, and then Toronto would take fourth for seeding. Those were the top four for the buys going in for seeding now in the Major 1 tournament that we'll get into later on in the show. But Man, I gotta say Pool B though. I mean Stanford not getting a bye is criminal here. Like when you see Toronto's record and then you flip over to here and you see Stanford went 9-2 and these guys have to go through pool play, it's a little crazy to see. I mean, a 9-2 and a 30-10 map count, like these boys are hooping.
Yeah, I would say Pool B is probably my favorite pool. Just how the resurgence of New Jersey, the decline of the Death Dealers, and then the surprising rivalry between OVO and Stanford. I think both 9-2. I mean, they're just map counts off. I mean, those guys are going to make some noise in the playoffs. But yeah, I agree. It's surprising that they didn't get the bye. But again. I would say the same thing I would say something for New Jersey in terms of NJ. I just think what coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I just wish that we had played and to see what it would be like. And then of course the loss that they took to Paris was probably one of the more surprising ones, just because Zorbs didn't wake up. So I feel like if Zorbs had played,
topic that I think me and you will touch on in a little bit later.
Yeah, but I just think if they had all their gear straight, I don't think the 6-5 record reflects New Jersey that much. I just think New Jersey could be 7-4 or 8-3, something like that.
Yeah.
But so I think this Pool B was definitely one of my favorites to kind of watch throughout the major for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Pool B was just nothing but phenomenal teams here, and it's shocking to see Stanford, New Jersey, and even the Death Dealers. I mean, they're on a slump, but I mean, seeing these boys play in pool play, I have the utmost confidence, hopefully, that they make it into bracket, make it into the Major 1 tournament, and we'll be able to talk with them a little bit more. And then obviously on the side of Pool
absolutely.
B, we had Miami, Nuck, and the boys have, just been, they've been that, to me, I think they've been like the quiet, like, demon, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't made a whole lot of noise. There's not a whole lot, like, the team is solid all around. Like, you boys got a solid team. But nothing crazy. You guys just go out there, you guys get the win, and you guys go home. That's just it. Miami comes out, they play, and then they go home. Nothing crazy there. No crazy situations. No crazy games. They just go out, get the dubs, and go home. I mean, with a 28-13 map count, I mean the boys are definitely hooping. Paris Prestige coming around a little bit. A few things I want to talk about Paris too in a little bit. About their road here through 6 and 4.
Yeah. I think Paris, but like I said, the Batman Kane, that boy, Glue boys, the European boys. I think they can make some noise. I mean, I think they were on the come up a little bit towards the end of the regular season in Major 1. They were. I think they're still one of my top teams to kind of watch because of. And Burke being a good support in there as well. And Sinful actually had a really good, I think he had a .99, but had a really good individual maps. He was popping off at certain times. So it was good to see him play back after sandboarding in Dubai. So he's back with us now on the west side. So he's playing very well. I think Paris is definitely playing well in totality. And then as for Michigan and Absolute, kind of like the mid-pack, Michigan, I still think they could be a team that stays here for a while.
I think Michigan, I mean, they showed really good promise and overload, and I mean, they still do. I just think there's a few matches that probably didn't go their way going up against the higher tier teams. But like me and you've said in previous weeks, like the last few weeks of the season, I think is some a lot of time in the booth for viewing and seeing where you guys are going wrong and try to fix it. And I think the one thing I got to say about AR is I think they have the most consistent 7-pointer in Xavier. Man is consistently dropping numbers no matter what the result is. I mean, they are 4-7, but I'm pretty sure Xavier is still putting up big numbers. He needs a bit of help here going into pool play. Hopefully he gets it. But he's also a very good player that is fun to watch going forward in these pool plays as well.
Yeah, Michigan is they got something there that I like a lot, and I think they could retool, especially if they when they come through to Major 2. I think it could be a better. I think they'll ameliorate their process and improve very well to Major 2. And an absolute rain again, kind of like wishy-washy, but again 4-7 for what they have. I mean, it's not terrible either, in my opinion.
No, absolutely not.
Overall, though, shout out to all the teams that participated and played in Major 1 regular season, absolute pool play regular season. It was an absolute pleasure and an honor for Clouter and I to watch you guys battle it out on the Call of Duty maps.
Hey, you can't diss us and say that we weren't also a part of it, man. Like you had a few maps you were hooping, you were coming in here, you're like, Clouder, man, I've been hooping, and I came in here, I was like, yo, Fets, bro, I've been hooping. But,
I had a couple fun times, man. It was fun, but
I think
it's just I see the passion a lot more. You guys a lot. You guys definitely play.
It's a good thing you mentioned that because I wrote down a few things here so far that's happened in major one that has been remembered on the big moments. One being early on in the season we had the overload comeback of the century in Toronto Frost being down 6-0 to I believe Minneapolis in the overload that they played back at the week 2 of the season when they were down 6-0 with 4 minutes left and made the miraculous comeback and won 7-6. Another point to mention is the Stubblers triple collat against Miami on Raid S&D. New Jersey's come up, starting the season 1-3, picking up Zorbs, going on a 4-game winning streak, making themselves a dominant team in the season. Stanford having MVP leader Gelato lead them through the first half of the season. Then obviously with everything with the Gelato man, he fell through, but then they picked up Bacto, and the duo of Bacto and Colin have continued the reigns of Stanford, reigning top and above, like the Gelato never left in type of a way. And then obviously you have OBO and Splashy still being Splashy, the most hated team in the league, but Splashy, still able to keep his numbers high for his team to get them the bye.
That man's been on a villain arc for like the beginning of BO6. I don't even know what's going on. It's like crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no.
It's funny you say that.
No, it's fine, man. And you are right though. He's on like his villain arc right now. And another thing we seen was, man, is my voice actually that low? Hold on, boys. I'm gonna fix this real quick. All right.
You might have to wrap your lips around that mic.
Man, I might have to start sucking. We also seen the OG LA boys come back in Paris for a little bit. That was fun to see for a little bit. Obviously, that changed around. A big player to point out here that I thought we should mention is that boy. I mean, he started down in the D League, worked his way up, had an excellent series against Toronto and Vegas, and then left Vegas to go play with Kane in Paris. And since he's been there with Kane, they've been playing lights out. We had Dallas Abyss come back and replace New York Impact. Ever since they come back, I know me and Fets were here, and we had some doubts about this Dallas team, but they have obviously continued on with New York's power reign that they had before they left, and was the first team to clinch their bye. And I think that's it. I mean, another wild part is the Michigan Wolves being below 500, but I mean, watching their overload this year has been insane too. So. Just a few things that I pointed out from Major 1 that happened. I don't know if there's anything that you noticed, Fets. I mean, from matches we watched as well. I mean, we did watch with the turn of Bermuda, too. I mean, we were there for that, too, when Bermuda played Paris on their turnaround with their new roster.
Yeah, I would say the most couple, like maybe 2 or 3 things, like Jersey, again, going on a streak. Healthy and well-rested Zorbs can give you a good game for Jersey.
Yeah.
Being the best S&D team was impressive to see. Stanford, again, with Lotto being left on the counter for too long, melted a little bit, and then someone put him back in the freezer. And while he was melting a little bit, halfway through the season, he still put together with Arab and those guys with Bacto and Colin. I think they never skipped the beat with Gelato there on or off the team. So the Gelato that we know is nice and solid and frozen, and he's ready to eat. So I think Stanford is looking really good. And then, of course, I think in terms of stat stuff, like Michigan being a top 3, with Texas being a top 3 overload team, right? I think those are kind of like the biggest things that I really noticed the most. I think that was really the coolest thing to see. And then, of course, obviously, I think that in terms of the league itself, the technicalities of the league itself, like the D League teams moving up to the main league, I think that's also a really good railroad for them to come through. And I think overall, I think it was a fantastic and successful Major 1 overall. So
absolutely,
like I said, shout out to everybody that played, man, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna get into it shortly. Talked to Fets beforehand, but we're gonna actually, I guess the best way to go next is that we're going to go over the final power rankings for Major 1. I think that's a good way to top it off. So obviously here they are on the screen for the top 8 in hardpoint. Obviously Stanford's still leading the way in hardpoint with a 12-3 record. OVO moving up a few spots after their dominant week, final week of the season, going 12-5. Miami dropping 1. Las Vegas dropped a spot. Paris still staying in that fifth spot with 11-7. And Dallas and Toronto moving up as Dallas is 5-1 in hardpoint since coming into the league. And New Jersey's slumming down a little bit as they also had a rough week. Obviously, Zorbs wasn't in the lineup. But yeah, that's this. This is your top 8 for hardpoint. Fetch, you had any comment on any of this? Anything here interesting to you? Then again, I felt this was pretty straightforward. You know, everything here looks.
Yeah, I mean, the New Jersey losing that hard point to Paris definitely brought them down a lot. But I mean, other than that, I think, nah, I don't think anything is too surprising. I think this is where this is a good top 8 for hard point for each team.
Bermuda was close in cranking it on under. Bermuda is number 9. I will say that for anyone that's in here from Bermuda. You guys did fall in at number 9. You guys definitely had a hell of a week coming back. I mean, you guys' hardpoint stats were pretty shitty, but you guys have definitely made a comeback in your hardpoint stats. Only thing is that fortunately enough, New Jersey cracks KD over you guys and pretty much points for and points against. If it wasn't for that, you guys may have cracked the top 8. But nonetheless, Bermuda's also up there in the well. They're also on the come up as well. But yeah. Nothing interesting I see here, man. These are definitely your top hardpoint teams, man. I mean, yeah. Stanford, OVO, I mean, getting 12-3, OVO 12-5 in hardpoints. I mean, 80% win percentage in hardpoint for Stanford. It's kind of scary to see that these boys know how to run respawn, and these guys are in pool play.
Yeah, right? Stanford and OVO, your best hardpoint teams. I don't deny them. I don't see them doing anything less in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, I see them not skipping a beat when it comes to HP respawns, and I think they're going to be fine. I think maybe, again, like, Jersey going down, but, like, Las Vegas still a top 4 hardpoint team. Kind of interesting, and probably that's the most interesting thing. Other than that, I still think this is, like, you're a solid top. These guys deserve to be in the top 8 for hardpoint, in my opinion, I think, based on this,
And moving to S&D, we got a little bit of change here. Obviously, with the Paris win over New Jersey, then in dominant fashion, Paris will overtake New Jersey in the power rankings as the number 1 search team in the league. To end off the major. I mean, 8-3, 72% wins, a 1.12 KD. That should say S&D KD. I don't know why it says hardpoint KD up top. Obviously, a plus 20 round differential. Obviously, the boys never won any round 11s, but obviously didn't need to go there. Obviously, with their 1.12 and plus 20 round differential. New Jersey dropping down to number 2, 9-3. I mean, New Jersey's still an insane search team. You know what I mean? So, Las Vegas still running out the top 3. As much as we gave Las Vegas, their doubts, I mean, the boys put up numbers. Like that boy said, they have some shooters. You know what, that boy, that's a good point. Las Vegas has no shooters but no leader. And I guess that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have Detroit coming up. You have Stanford coming up, Dallas, Bermuda. I think the only shocking thing here is that OVO dropped 4 spots, only because, I mean, their S&D this week definitely took a hit. Their KD plummeted, I think, 0.7, 0.8 spots. They were above a 1 last week. Now they're below 1.
God.
And obviously they lost. They had a 1-2 S&D record this week. Bermuda went undefeated this week. Same with Dallas, Stanford, and Detroit all went undefeated in S&D. So
yeah, shout out Bermuda, man, for real on the S&D. These guys
with
came
2 round
up
11
big.
clutch wins against Toronto. I mean, the boys are 7-5. These guys are hooping now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're making their come up.
Yeah, like I said, like you said, Paris kind of just taking the top spot in S&D again. I think the Batman Glue duo is a duo that people should be ready for in the playoffs. Detroit top 4, that's fucking impressive. Shout out Sumo, unbelievable work. And then again, Bermuda going to 7 and OVO dropping 4 spots. Again, I think those are the takeaways I see in the S&D power rankings. But I think in terms of like the teams, like I just think Detroit being a top 4 S&D team right now is pretty impressive. Bermuda being a top 8, OVO dropping, and then Paris taking the number 1. Those are like my biggest takeaways. 100%. And maybe, yeah, I think Glue is right. Shout out CR7 Ruler. Yeah, facts for real.
Yeah,
That man's
no,
a shooter.
and like I said, me and Fets, once we announce the pools and we dive into the pools and talk about the teams individually, Bermuda is definitely a team I want to talk about because those boys are definitely hooping as of
Yeah.
late. And
But between HP and S&D, Vegas top 4 HP, top 3 in S&D. So I think this was kind of like the kind of same topic we spoke about yesterday, like in terms of the 3 modes across all 3. Like Las Vegas is in the top, whether it's 4, top 5, or top 8.
I think Glue
across
makes a
all
good
3.
point, man, because yeah, they're in there,
So-
they're top among all 3 categories with a 5 and 6 map record. You wonder, is it a leadership problem at that point too, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
you know what I
think
mean, it could be that too, right? Because they are across the board here. I mean, I think the only thing they're not in is Overload. So obviously, here's our Overload rankings again. Stanford taking the wing, 9-1 in Overload as the only team that has 1 loss in Overload throughout the whole major. The boys have a whopping 1.18 KD. The second place team is New Jersey down at number 6 with a 1.13. Obviously, Stanford scores 4.2. Goals per game and are plus 13 in goal differential. I mean, the only one that's beaten them is obviously Michigan with plus 14. But nonetheless, I mean, Stanford's 9-1 with a 1.18. 100% taking this top spot here.
That's crazy. Detroit's number 3, man. I gotta say that again. Shout out K, man. Shout out Kaori. I mean,
7-3, man. 70%, 1.05.
It's very.
I think the only thing that Detroit struggles with in Overload is probably their points per game right now. But I mean, outside of, holding the 7-3 record,
like, dude, the fact that they came up here, like, I in terms of like improvement, like just the amelioration between when they started and until now, and the end of Major 1 regular season, you have Detroit still viable, actually more than viable. They are still there, but I think it's so super impressive. And then Michigan hasn't skipped a beat either. They're still at number 2. Stanford again, 9-1. I mean, they are the team to be in Overload. Unbelievable work out of Backdoor and Colin and Zin. Shout out Zin, man. I mean, like, I still can't believe when Gelato took a medical leave and now he's back and these guys are still a top team. It shows the continuity that they have in Stanford. And then of course Texas going down too. Jersey moving up, Dallas moving up. We don't talk a lot about Dallas. Again, like, I know, like, I just don't know more about Dallas. I mean, I just know that
they're still new. They came halfway into the season, but I mean, I think now that we're at this back half of the season, I think they've made statement makers now, and the stats they've been putting up, with Heck,
Reggie,
and Gio and them, the boys.
Gio, yeah, it's Gio and Heck, right? Yeah, that's the squad right there. I mean, I expect them to do well. 2 in the playoffs. That deal is dirty. So, Miami. Yeah, I mean,
Miami didn't move much. I mean, to be fair, I lost. I mean, the stats with the whole Vegas. You guys didn't have much stats go in this week either, right? So I didn't have nothing to go off. You guys had a coin flip and whatever was the Vegas series. I never had much, but but nonetheless,
New Jersey being a better team than Miami. Yeah, it's just they listen. New Jersey is a great team. If everybody is playing, maybe Payne. I think if everybody's playing and they're healthy, and then Payne just lays down a little bit more, that I'm telling you, New Jersey could take it pretty far. Just Payne needs to lay down just a little bit. After I watched that Paris match, he just needs to lay down. Like, he doesn't need to like pop up. And I do the same thing. Perk and Nuck and Parks do the same thing. Like, I'm on the hill and they'll be like, Fetty, lay down, don't move. I'm like, okay. Like, so I think Payne kind of works hand in hand with Payne. I think Jersey again. I think though I see them moving up a lot more in the Overload power rankings throughout the playoffs. But Texas going down, Detroit I think is the biggest thing here. I think we got to talk about Detroit more. But yeah, that's my takeaway for these power rankings for Overload for sure.
Yeah, and ladies 100%. And gents, these are the final power rankings. I'll go just give you a brief through again. Stanford taking number 1 spot overall at the end of Major 1 with a 12-3. Jumping into the S&D. Paris obviously standing tall in the S&D. A lot of us thought, myself and Fets included, thought it was going to be New Jersey holding the top. but obviously with a plus 20 round differential and a 1.12 KD, I mean, it's hard to ignore. Plus, they beat New Jersey 6-3 in their own home turf. You know, had it definitely deserves to be number 1 at the end of the major, and then obviously number 4. Obviously, you cannot deny a 9-1 win-loss record out of Stanford and a 1.18 KD and overload. You know, that concludes the Major 1 power rankings. You know, hopefully we see a lot of big changes with Major 2. We don't know what the teams are for Major 2 yet. We know 4 are for sure. Obviously, Toronto, Miami, OVO, and Dallas. We will see them again in Major 2. But obviously, for everyone else, it's a toss-up who's going to fill in the other 12 slots for Major 2. But that definitely concludes.
Wait. Fill in other 12 slots? What do you mean
16
fill in
teams.
12?
16 teams for 16-team Major for Major 2. There's only 4 teams in right now. The other 12 are duking it out in the pool play.
Oh, right. I thought they were like done for like the. I was like, oh shit.
Nah, twin.
So I'm a little jet lag, guys. I'm a little jet lag.
Brother.
I've been up since 5 a.m. I'm an autopilot a little bit, so I apologize. I was like, I heard 12 teams erratic. I'm like, hold on. We just
Hold
lost
on,
12
that's
teams.
not right. You got to stat check
I was
your
like,
fucking co-host. You'd be like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
we just lost 12 teams out of the blue. Like, what the? Sorry, my apologies. I am. You know what? Let me check this shit real quick. Hold on. Go ahead, Clouter. I'm gonna rip this
while
fucking
you're doing
little
that,
tall boy.
I'm gonna give you the intro because that's a good thing because we're gonna get to my favorite segment of the show. And when Fets is done chugging, we're gonna run into Fets' final A list for Major 1 before we pull in to the pool play reveal. So everyone stay tuned. We're gonna get with that real quickly.
Sweet nectars of the gods, man. Oh my god, that is so good. I am ready to go.
All right, Fets, when you're ready, you take it away, brother. Ladies and gents,
All
it's the final
ladies and
Fets' A
gentlemen.
list.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fets A-List, and we are gonna jump right into it. We aren't even gonna no hezzy. New Jersey, throw it about there. Throw it on there, Clouter, baby. Let's to see. And Jay, off the rip. Dude, I mean, I think that, again, I'm going to say this again. They unfortunately took a bad loss to Paris. And shout out Rose for the ESA, by the way. For Johnny. Johnny still came in for that Map 4, or the Map 4, and dropped the 1-2-4 anyway. If Johnny plays in the beginning, I think we see at Map 5. Paris and New Jersey are going to bow down and duke it out, hopefully, in the playoffs. I need to see this matchup again with the full roster. But Paris played really well. New Jersey, though, still a top S&D team. It's really good. Look really good in that overload. And I'm telling you, they are on the come up. They went down a little bit since last week. But I'm telling you right now, New Jersey, top 5 team. They are not a sleepy team. I don't want to hear anybody talk about New Jersey being a dark horse team anymore. They are here to play. Top 5, number 5. Number 4, it's going to be... why? Okay, listen. The North knows what it's best at. Unfortunately, they did take a hit in that S&D, and that's kind of like where their prowess is. That's where they're dominant at, I feel like. But their hard points have been showing even better, and they are a multifaceted team. These guys absolutely play so well together. Again, the continuity is there. They don't change. OVO right behind Stanford in a lot of those stat lines in terms of overall power rankings. Besides the S&D just took a drop. But these guys have been winning the last couple games towards the end of Major 1 and have been looking better. And let me tell you something right now. For all you niggas that hate OVO, please pump the brakes a little bit. They just try to play the game just like anybody else. I'm telling you, Splash Cheese on the tear. I think this guy is going to come ready and hot for Major 1. And I think with the support from Kato and Brandon and whoever that plays at bottom, the fourth player, I think they just got to figure out who that fourth player is, and I think they could really, really, really play. And once it's EJ, but once 7 gets his moving in order and he gets his Wi-Fi back and a PC up, I'm telling you, with the likes of those 4, I think they can make a lot of noise. Again, that is their pedigree, and that's what they're known for. But shout out OVO, number 4. Number 3, why is it Paris? Why? Paris Prestige, baby, come on. I mean, guys, Batman and Glue have been playing absolutely incredible these last 2 to 3 games. Paris right now is on a resurgence, and I think they are going to keep that fire going into this major. And I'm not gonna lie, I really do think they're gonna make a lot of noise. There's a lot of saturated teams in this top 5, and I think Paris needs to be up here because you have Kane and Glue. But let me tell you something really quickly. They just topped New Jersey in the S&D ranks. They are still kind of struggling on the overload, but the respawns in S&D have been phenomenal. And here's another thing. Shout out Sinful. The man was sandboarding in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, whatever it is. The man was hitting the dunes. He took a little vacation. He came back, and now he's dropping 30s on people. I mean, he's putting up some really good numbers. And Burke with the support, I think Paris is a really good team. They have a chance to probably win it all. And it's just how sound can they play together. And they're showing to play. But if they fix their overload, they could be one of the better teams in this league. And number 2, we going to the South Beach. It's going to be my Miami Vice Demons. Why? Listen, man. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to play New Jersey. And we kind of quarter played Las Vegas. So it was kind of wishy-washy last week. We had a lot of rest. And we're going to get even more rest for taking the bye and divisional round. But let me tell you something. I love these guys, Perk, Parks, and Nuck. Man, these guys are one of the best. They're probably, since Ovio, probably one of the best players I've ever played with, man. Fun to play with. They tell you like it is. They're very blunt, and it is outstanding how well they play. I don't think Nuck skips a beat. We work on a couple more things and brush it up. Perk is on the ascension. This man is going up in terms of his play style. He's been playing so well. I love the way Perk's playing, and it's so much good comms. It's a community-oriented team. These guys have been playing amazing. I don't see them skipping a beat at all. We clean up a couple things, and Miami is right there on top. Number two. But number 1, the best team that I think is in the league right now is none other than the Stanford Stonefacers. Why? I don't even got to tell you guys. I think we should just end it there because I think it all tells you, right? It literally tells you why. This is the best team right now in the CxP, whether Gelato is playing or whether Gelato is not playing, whether he's melting on the kitchen counter or he's back in the freezer. That doesn't matter, man. These guys have not lost. They've lost, 1 game, 2 games, all major 1. These guys are phenomenal. They are the best team. They're the team to beat, the best hardpoint, top S&D, somewhere top S&D team, but the best overload team. And I think these guys are the team to beat in the playoffs. They should, in my opinion, they're looking like the fucking 2011 New England Patriots. Even though they did lose 2 games, they are a dominant team. Until they get to the Super Bowl. Can they get to the Super Bowl? Can they get to the NBA championship? I think they can. I think they will be in the championship. I am going to lock in Stanford right now as a team to be in the championship, Major 1 champion grand finals. I'm going to lock that in right now. As for their competitor, I don't know. But this is my list right now. Again, things can change as we go through the playoffs. But this right now, I think, and again, I think this top 5, has changed. Everybody stayed in this top 5, but it's kind of gone up and down in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So it's like these guys are still there. You see the continuity from these guys. So,
but if I can bump in on your segment, I'm with you. I think Stanford is definitely the front runners right now to win it all. If there was definitely a bet line for this, they're definitely the heavy favorites going into this Major 1 tournament for sure. Absolutely. And the fact that they have to play pool play is absolutely criminal because, like I said, we're going to get into pool play in just a second. But yeah, once we go over how pool play is going to work, it could get crazy. But I definitely don't have my doubt in Stanford. I see them making it to the tournament, and I see them possibly winning it all. But anyways, that is a fantastic segment. My favorite segment of the show, to be honest. I fucking love when you go ape shit on your top 5 teams in the league.
Listen, I think when I ripped that last half Talboy just now, I think that was really what got me going because I was feeling a little tired, but damn, I feel like I just Dude, I was doing fucking Jaeger bombs yesterday, bro. It was insane. Like
Holy brother.
I think next pod I gotta start ripping Jaeger bombs like and shit, like fucking Red Bull and Jaeger. Like I just got to do it. Shit
God
fucked up, like you know.
damn.
Yeah, dog, it was last night was insane. I'm surprised I woke up from my 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock class. I ain't gonna lie, but
But
I absolutely, I love you, Clouter. That was the graphics are impeccable. You're the go. Shout out
Hey,
Clouter for the
man.
graphics, by the way. I want to say that all night, but
Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. I'm happy that you're here with me, bro. Wouldn't be doing anyone else. And I do have to give a shout out to the CxP, obviously to the E-Man himself, because he came to me with an NDA, a big negotiation we had on how we wanted to go about pool play. I appreciate the man. I know he's either driving home right now, listening to the pod, or he's home now already listening. I know he's here now. So big shout out to him for trusting me to pull this off for everyone here today. That is a close on our Major 1 regular season. Me and Feds have enjoyed highlighting every week on what's been going down. Obviously, we're stoked for Major 2. And obviously this here pool play and the Major 1 tournament coming up is how this all started, honestly. So it's cool that me and Fets are back for, I think it's our 4th time doing a pool play and a bracketology, which again, I'm going to reveal those dates shortly after we reveal the pools. But yeah, no.
heard that.
The next 2 or 3 weeks of the CxP is going to be fucking insane. And me and Fets are going to do our best to cover it all for you guys. So, if you guys are enjoying everything and want to stay tuned with all the action, man, we're here. Every Monday, 5 p.m. EST.
Gotta leave. I've definitely got to cop a bottle of Jaeger for the next playoff matches.
Yeah.
When I cast it. That is gonna be leave a bottle of Jägermeister in the freezer. Thank me later, man.
Yeah,
Hell
absolutely.
yeah, buddy.
Well, we're gonna load it up right here, right now. There's no other time to get in to the pools. All right.
Can we get a drum roll, please?
I wish I had a soundboard, but that was a very shitty drum roll. Hold on.
Okay, I can't do a drum roll. But
anyway.
you guys both had the same stats map 3. Yep. Oh, go ahead, Clutter. Guys, this is
Sorry,
big right here, boys.
Quick interruption, but we're good. All right, so the very first team in Pool A is going to be the Stanford Stonefacers entering Pool A as the first team in their pool.
And wait, Clutter, I didn't mean to cut you up, but can you just remind chat what this pool play represents?
All right.
Basically, can you just tell them what this represents?
So what's going to happen is I'm going to go more in depth on how this is going to work. But this is technically, so the 4 teams that got their bye, which would be Dallas, Toronto, Miami, and OVO. They are moving on to the Major 1 tournament. Obviously, the Major 1 tournament is obviously a bracket style tournament where the winner will get the prize pool of X many dollars decided by the CxP head of board, which is technically E and his board of people. Obviously, he will post all that bush. I'm leaving that to him. This here is technically a play-in. So for the rest of the teams that didn't make it, you guys are now in what we're going to call a pool of death. So now you guys have to play in another week of matches. It's going to be 3 matches with your respective teams in your pool. And you have to pretty much, these games, every game here matters. Winning these games get you into the Major 1 tournament so you can play for the prize pool. What you don't want now, and also with the new addition for this year, is the D-League team. So there's some D-League teams here that are going to get announced. Obviously, the top 4 D-League teams are also involved in here as well. And they're going to play in this pool of death as well. And obviously, the last place teams will be relegated to D-League, and there's an interesting twist for that as well that myself and E has introduced it for this that we're kind of excited about. That makes this a little bit more chaotic, and a lot of games mean so much more. But anyways, wrapping off Pool A, Stanford's the first team to enter Pool A. The first team to enter Pool B is none other than Paris Prestige.
Oh!
And I'm going to go quick here because obviously there's no matchups as of right yet. So obviously we're going to keep it going pretty quick here. Pool C, their first round draft pick is the New Jersey Blackout. They're rounding out Pool C. Pool D, the first team belonging in Pool D is Las Vegas Death Dealers.
Oh!
So these are
Kinda.
the top teams in each pool as of right now. In my opinion, as towards the stats, I kind of did it, but the heavy hitters first.
Yeah.
But yeah,
By the
you
way,
want to say something?
I don't.
You go nuts, bro. Listen.
By the way, I just want to note to the chat. I have no idea.
No,
like
Fets
I
is in
don't
the
know.
darks. Listen, man. He
this
made sure
is
this NDA was tight.
yeah.
Was
No, the
super
non-disclosure agreement was secured. Let me tell you, this is the first time I'm seeing this. So if you hear me do a reaction in the background, it's because I'm like, oh, like it's just crazy. Like, I can't even believe it already. I kind of have an idea of what it might be, but I could be totally wrong. But let's get right into it, baby.
We're gonna get a little interesting here because here we go. The second team entering Pool A with Stanford is going to be Detroit Reign.
Damn.
So we're gonna see Detroit versus Stanford for sure this week or next week, I
Wow.
think. So that is Detroit. You
Wow.
are in Pool A with the Demons.
Fucking
Probably
wow.
everyone in Pool A has to be shit baked because Stanford is just an elite fucking team right now. Probably the team that is not deserving of being here. But Detroit and Stanford are rounding out your Pool A as of right now. The second team going into Pool B, the joint pairs, is going to be the Texas Rattlesnakes. So the boys in Texas are going to duel it with Paris. And then obviously joining New Jersey in Pool C is going to be none other than the Michigan Wolves, the second best overall team in the league.
Okay, all right.
Very interesting matchup there. And then rounding out Pool D with the Las Vegas Death Dealers is going to be the up and coming hot team of the Bermuda Bloodline. BT, no, they never. No, OVO won their pool off of head-to-head.
Yeah, we're going H2H.
And same thing applies for these pools as well. That's how the seeding is going to be determined for this as too. So every match is going to matter because if you tie a record at this point, that could really determine if you're going to get relegated or if you're going to be in the Major 1 tournament.
Yep. This is for who was going to make the actual champs bracket. BT.
So in Pool A, we have our first D-League team in the Plattsburgh Pebbles. Making this a little interesting in Pool A. We have probably one of the hottest D-League teams coming up right now. From my intel, I've been told these boys are constantly scrimming. These boys are always in chat talking about how to get better.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting coming into this pool.
Yeah, this is impressive here. This is impressive so far for Pool A. Pool A is looking pretty meaty.
Yeah,
pretty meaty, boys.
Yeah, Plattsburgh is the first D-League team. And to follow that up, obviously I had to go back-to-back with the D-League teams. And the second D-League team coming up into Major 1 in pool play, we got the East Coast Bandits, another team that has been on a fucking tear in D-League. And from what I've heard, these boys are fucking insane. Me and Feds have already got an eyewitness to Rose when she substituted for, or whoever substituted for New Jersey.
Oh, I'm expecting these motherfuckers to do some work in that pool. Same with Plattsburgh as well. But we'll get into that after. Oh my god, I'm getting fucking. My blood is like I'm like hot right now.
Breathe, brother.
Can't breathe. This is insane. I'm losing it right now.
Wrapping in the third team into Pool C, a team that just recently got elevated into the main league. So I guess they're technically a D-League team, but they did get elevated into the CxP as of recently. We have the Texas Doberman, another brand new team entering, owned by Matthias.
Shout out MJ.
That's the third team for Pool C, and then I think Pool D. I don't know who I have for third. I know what the teams are, but I don't know who's going to come up here. Yes, it is the New York Impact. I didn't know if I left them for last or not.
Oh my god.
But Ian Bear, the OG CxP duo coming back for blood. They're wrapping out the third set of teams for Pool D. Now the final team for Pool A, we have the Tawana for Joyles, the team that went 1-10. They're wrapping out Pool A here. The 1-10. Will Potato and Real figure out something in pool play? I don't really know because this is a heavy-hitting Pool A, followed with Tawana at the bottom. Pool B, wrapping out Pool B. It's gonna be none other than Minneapolis. Rounding out the Pool B with Paris, Texas, East Coast, and with the East Coast Bandits. And Pool C is going to be the final D-League team to get to come up. Another team on a very big hot streak. It's definitely the West Coast Riders are rounding out your Pool C.
That's a
You know what though, Fets? Like between me and you, before I released and then it's the last team. Now everyone probably knows what the last team is by now because it's the CxP team. I meant to put New York last, but I fucked that up. Anyways, New Jersey versus West Coast should be.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I
like, dude. When I seen this, that was like the first thing I thought of was holy fuck.
We might have to cast this shit.
New Jersey
man.
and West Coast is going to fucking.
We might have to cast that one. That's gonna be wicked. Man.
And then the final team wrapping up Pool D is Xavier, Stubby, and the boys. Absolute rain.
They are.
So there you guys have it, folks. Man. That is the pool. Those are your pools for pool play. If you're on any of these teams now, you know the teams that you're going up against this week in big matches. But yeah, me and Feds are going to do a deep dive in a quick second. But those are your pools. I'm going to show them again quite in a second. I'm just going to leave it there for a couple more seconds. And now it's disappeared because I have to change the graphic. So bear with me for a second.
Dude, I might have to bring out my notebook and start writing this shit down. I might have to start writing some notes now.
Are you ready for me to blow your mind again? Now, everyone that's here, this is how pool play is going to work, all right? Here it comes.
Everybody listen up. Everybody listen up, man.
So each pool will play in a round robin to determine seeding for their pool. The top 2 teams of each pool in the round robin will advance to the Major 1 tournament. This is where it gets tricky. The 3rd and 4th place teams will play each other in a relegation match. The loser of the relegation match will be demoted to the D-League. So, if you place 3rd and 4th in your pool, this is why the head-to-head tiebreakers matter. If you place 3rd and 4th, you will have to play in a relegation match. If you lose that relegation match, your team will be demoted for D-League for Major 2. The 3rd place team, obviously, if you win the relegation match, you will stay in for Major 2 next year. You won't compete in a Major 1 tournament, but you will survive to see Major 2 in the CxP. Obviously, the schedule to the right, this is subject to change. So from February 9th to February 18th is going to be your pool play matches. The 18th to 23rd for relegation matches. I think me and you talked about this. There might be a little bit more leeway here to extend this a little bit more. And then obviously our Major 1 tournament is going to be February 18th to March 1st. I know I just said that me and Fets are here every Monday. But how the playoffs are going to work, February 18th will be the next pod where me and Fets we're going to do our bracketology, go over the bracket because all the teams will be done their pool play. And
that's when I crack out the Jägermeister. Straight up shots.
Going to crack out the Jägermeister.
Yeah, I will say this. I'm going to say something right now. I love the format. I love how the CxP has adapted like this NBA play-in for like this the pool of death kind of thing, to play in for like the seeding for or to actually get into the champs bracket. But then also this relegation match is also very, very intense.
It's for each pool.
It builds the pressure. It adds also this the European soccer, how they do their relegations, right?
Let me speak bullshit for a second. I speak bullshit because it's like a 0 point, and I mean, listen to all the Stanford fans and boys in the chat. I apologize, but there's like a 0.5% chance ever happening. Can you imagine Stanford being the number 1 team all year and they somehow get relegated? That would be fucking mind blowing.
I'm telling you, Tom Brady in 2011 lost to the Giants, man. Fuck perfect season. It's like it would be the same shit. They just get relegated. I don't think that would happen, but I'm gonna tell you something. That would be the talk of the town, 100%. I mean, but I just gotta say the formatting of like from the I just want to say this the pool of death right back in BO6. Like Major 3, Major 4 was phenomenal, right? Then the expansion, right, of the D-League and the talent across the board from the May League to the D-League, and the passion in the D-League is heavy. So then, boom, right? Now you get this chance where shout out E and Perk and Clouter and whoever formulated this idea to add this relegation aspect an attribute to our playoff format. Fucking phenomenal. Do you know how much juice that's going to add? The tension,
Every match,
the
every
pressure,
match matters.
the every match matters. This is like college football itself too. But now it's 12 teams now. If it was like 4 teams in the play, that'd make a difference. But like now, since the NCAA did all that shit. But anyway, this is a fucking absolute banger. I don't care what anybody says. Meet me outside. We'll fight it out. I'm telling you right now. This playoff format could be the best playoff format I've seen since sliced bread. I'm not even gonna lie. That is some fucking cool shit. And shout out those guys who ever put that down. I mean, this is intense. This is as intense and sudden death like as you can get, man.
Yep.
So that's all
obviously
I
on
would say
screen
about
here
that.
For everyone watching, the red line, obviously you do not want to be below this red line. When me and Feds come back on the 18th, your team does not want to be below this red line.
Yep.
Because obviously, if it was a stands right now, obviously Tawana would place Plattsburgh for the relegation match, and East Coast would play Minneapolis for a relegation match, and Stanford and Detroit would go through, and Paris and Texas would go through. Now, obviously, when the matches go, this is subject to change, blah, 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 blah. But yes, your team don't want to be below this red line.
Yep. If you're a red line team, you playing for your life.
Yep.
Basically,
100%. But I mean,
so I'm assuming if you're the 2 teams below the red line after the 3 games.
After 3 games, you have to play that team
3
again.
games.
So you're gonna
got to play that team
again.
again for that relegation. Yep.
Yep,
Oh
for third
my
place.
god. Hey, you thought I was already a wreck, nigga? My shit is beaming out the pants right now. It's insane. I can't believe that.
And obviously,
whoever put this
if
put
you
this
win the
together
relegation match,
needs
you don't get to play in the Major 1 tournament. You just technically get a pass to play a Major 2 next season, and you don't have to play up through D-League and drawing your way back up to the CxP once again. But
whoever
yeah,
put this together needs a raise.
I will say that this is very interesting because this makes pool play mean a whole lot more. Like if I were to jump through to pool, I think I have C and D here. Yeah, I do. Like, dude, like this pool D, like Vegas, Bermuda, Absolute, New York, like that is a death pool.
Dude,
Like,
I mean, that's insane.
The poor team that gets demoted over there probably shouldn't get demoted, but oh man.
I can kind of give an idea for each pool for the most part. But wow, I mean, oh my god.
Where do you want to start?
Just...
What pool do you want to start at? Like, now it's in front of you. Like, where do you want to start?
Let's go backwards. Let's go D first.
Let's go D.
For the D. Yeah, let's do it for D first.
All right, so obviously
let's
we
go
have Pool
backwards
D.
this time.
We have Las Vegas, Bermuda, AR, and obviously the New York Impact making their resurgence into the CxP after they dropped down to D League. I guess Eraz and Bear wanted to work their way back to the CxP. But they are back. What's your thoughts on this one? Because we have a hot Bermuda team right now. Vegas obviously leads in all power rankings and all modes. They're in the top 8 of all power rankings. Obviously, we know what the New York Impact is capable of. And then obviously you have Absolute Rain with Xavier, probably the most consistent player out there right now.
Yep. As of right now, I'm going to tell you, I want to start off right this one. I'll tell you who's going to make it out, D, and I'll go backwards. So right now, off the rip, I really think Death Dealers and New York Impact make it out of this pool. I think Bermuda and Absolute Rain are going to battle it out in the bottom in the relegation. I will say this because of this. I love Xavier to death.
I'll let you do your thing real quick.
I love Xavier to death, and I think he is one of the most fantastic 5-6 pointers I've ever seen right in this league compared to the other 5-6 pointers. I think he matches up to those guys. So here's the thing. Absolute Rain, Xavier is so great, but his support system has not been applicable, has not been sufficient enough for them to, in my opinion, in my own Fetty Wap personal opinion, to elevate them to the next level. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing. I think Xavier is still going to have to do so much more work. And it depends on if they get a good night's sleep and they can come out and play well. I think Absolute Rain could really come out. But Bermuda's also been on a tear lately. But I think with the numbers that I've seen out of Bermuda, even with the late kind of small resurgence that they've had.
I don't mean to cut you off, just hold the fort for like 45 seconds. I'll be right
No, you're
back.
good. I think with the Bermuda bloodline, the ascension they've had in the last 2 or 3 games, right? They have been playing well. They show grit. They're a very gritty team, a lot of resilient team. I think, unfortunately, and this is what I'll say. I think unfortunately Bermuda Bloodline may get relegated to the D League. This is just my opinion. I want to be proved wrong. So please, if you're hearing this, please prove me wrong. But I think, I mean, actually, no. I mean, it's going to be a Ruler versus Xavier kind of matchup for that relegation match. This is just on the assumption that Vegas and New York is going to come back. And I think for New York Impact, again, I think E and Bear, I think Eraz kind of signing a 10-year contract for Bear. Bear has been a New York Impact player since the beginning of time, since the caveman, Neanderthal eras, and I think right now New York has the most advantage in this pool. And I think they will play the best. They may even take first in this pool. That's how good they are. And I think Vegas needs to, again, clean up some things on the ownership level. Once Benji and those guys clean up things on the ownership level, I think dealership they shouldn't have a problem. I think Quick Tuna is a great player. I think Toad Sage has been improving a little bit. Again, they are a solid team. They are 6-5, and I think they could do some work. I think New York and these guys, but yeah, well, we're going backwards, Cope. God damn it, Cope. Always coming in and doing shit, man.
Hold on,
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm here. No, I can flick back for a second. We are going.
No, you're good. You're
Here-
good. No, I'm
here's
just
Pool
kidding.
A,
I'm just
Cope.
kidding. Yeah, go back. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you, Cope. Yeah, I'm taking it backwards. I'm going backwards. So there's your Pool A and Pool B. But I think for Pool D, I think Bermuda and Absolute Rain are going to be playing in that relegation match. That is just my opinion. I think Absolute Rain does come out on top, but it's just that support system for Absolute Rain. Bermuda on a tear. I don't know if Warzy is back in the lineup for Bermuda, then it might be a different story. Absolute Rain could be relegated.
Diesel's been playing. Diesel's a very good player. That's what I was going to
All right,
say.
so Diesel's been playing, but yeah, so I it could go either way for apps. I just know for a fact, not for a fact, but in my personal, professional opinion, I just think Bermuda and Absolute Rain will be in the relegation period for these guys, and I think New York and Vegas will come out of this Pool D.
I'm going to counter you real quick with Bermuda because the way they've been playing right now with Ruler and Diesel and those boys, I wouldn't be shocked if they were an upset and sent Vegas and New York down. I'm with you. I do agree. I do think looking at this.
I love that. I like that idea too.
I do agree with you that Absolute Rain is definitely probably as of right now, and and stats and everything else. I mean, 4 and 7 map count. We can really get into it, which we can here in a second. But the way Bermuda's been playing recently, the team looks hot, man. And I can definitely see them beating some of these teams by sheer miracle. But yeah, no, I wouldn't count out Bermuda. I definitely can see your reasoning with Absolute Rain being down there in a relegation match, but I think Bermuda has a chance.
I forgot Ruler is on Bermuda, isn't he? He is, right? Ruler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruler, Diesel, XO, and XO is a pretty solid player as well.
Listen, I mean, it comes about to how they play on the day of, but like if EXO comes out like he was playing in that Switch I watched him play, and then Ruler comes out playing like he did against Toronto, I think Bermuda could absolutely take out, no pun intended, absolutely take down Absolute Rain. But I think those would be your bottom teams. I really think Vegas could actually kind of get it. I think Vegas could get it together into the playoffs. I really think they do. I think they retool it or something. They figure something out. Benji gets untimed out or whatever the fuck it is. I think they figure out the ownership thing and then they kind of lock it in a little bit. So I think there's a lot on the line here, and I think Vegas has shown resilience as well. So I think they could really bring it to it to the playoffs. But I think my take is New York and Vegas. I think that is just for the surface.
And if there's a point where you got to look at too, like back when, I know obviously the New York Impact have made some changes, but I mean before they went down as well, like just something to type on here with our stats too. I mean before they dipped down to D League and sold to Dallas. I mean New York was 7-2 on hardpoint. They had a 1.13 KD in the hardpoints. In S&D they were 5-2 with a 1.29 KD in the S&Ds. And I think the only thing New York struggled in was the overload. Was still the overload. And I think another point to type on too with Bermuda, their overload is still struggling. I mean, the team is 1-9 in overload. with a .93. They're probably the worst overload team in the league. So if I'm Bermuda, I think overload is what they need to work on going in here. Same with Absolute Rain. Absolute Rain 2-8 in overload. I think New York and Las Vegas. I think if they're gonna capitalize on these teams, it's gonna be in the overload.
Oh, 100%.
And I think as of S&D stats go, I mean, Bermuda's coming up as a really good S&D team. New York's a good S&D team. Excuse me. AR and Las Vegas as well are also good S&D teams. So hopefully we're going to see some really good S&D matches out of Pool D as well. But yeah, I think Absolute Rain's trouble coming into this pool is definitely going to be the respawns because they're playing some heavy hitter teams that are really good in the respawns right now. Moving forward. So it's going to be very interesting to see.
Oh yeah, 100%. Sorry, I was looking for some weed. I think my girlfriend smoked all my weed, so I gotta throw her across the room later on.
That's never good.
No, it's not good. No, she went to dispensary. Like she's like on her way back from dispensary. But I gotta toss her across the room one time because like you can't leave me with nothing, man. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. But just
in game though, in game, not in real life.
Just like in game, yeah. Like just pick her up and just like throw her on the bed. But anyway,
I think
we're not doing that. But anyway,
for AR, it's going to be a respawn. They really got to capitalize on the respawns here to come out on top. And
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Bermuda needs to just fix that overload. And I think Vegas and New York just got to capitalize on the overloads and the respawns for these teams because I think the search and destroys with all four of these teams are going to get very interesting, even if it goes map 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, we are going backwards, Glue. Sorry, Feds called it going backwards. It was his call.
Yeah, I wanted to make it fucking since I know you guys are waiting for that, so that's what I did, baby. That's how I do it.
So then we'll jump back into Pool C. Now, Pool C, I think, has the juiciest matchup because New Jersey versus West Coast is like, holy, give me that on primetime television. Because, fuck, man. Chapo and the boys against Los and Zorbs. Holy. And that New Jersey team with Pain and fucking Relax. Like, oh, man, give me that. We need that on prime television.
Yeah, Chapo and Bugs have probably one of the better 4-pointers in that D League. Probably one of the better duo 4-pointers I've seen in the league, and I think they are the best D League team. They are going to make noise. I think they're going to be here to stay. I think they beat Michigan. I think it's going to be a New Jersey West Coast Riders coming out of Pool C. I think Michigan will be playing Texas Dobermans in the relegation match, and I think Michigan will come out. I think Texas goes back down. And this is just my opinion. I think Texas, unfortunately, shout out at Matthias, Mr. Cubehead, but I think Michigan again have a little bit more continuity. I think Carlos is a great player, and I think he's shown, especially Clouter and I when we were casting, why they're probably the better overload team and why they deserve to stay. I think they deserve to stay in the main league because of how much they've played and how much they come together to play. They did lose Butcher, and I think Butcher was the biggest loss, unfortunately. But they still showed.
I didn't mean to cut you off either, but this relegation match gets fucking crazy because, like, dude, Michigan hasn't had a bad season. Like, let's be real. Like, let's talk about a world where we look at this and New Jersey, West Coast, and Texas make it out, and Michigan gets demoted. Michigan,
I'm running butt naked down the street.
Hasn't had a terrible season. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Michigan's had a bad season. I don't think they look at it that way. Like, let's give our flowers to Michigan. Obviously, as
100%
number 2 overload team. I mean, they're 7-10 in the hard points. 7-10 in hard points with a .96. I mean, not best at a hard point, but I mean, when you play 17 hard points, I mean, they're kind of around to 500 in respawn, which we kind of figured. S&D, they're kind of low in the S&D as well with a 5 and 8. So, I mean, overload is their mode. Overload's their saving grace. If they can squeeze a hard point or S&D out of you, this team knows they have overload on lockdown. And I mean, overload can always be the start of a reverse sweep if they need to be as well, And then on the side of New Jersey, I mean, what more is there to talk about with this New Jersey team? I mean, started off 1-3. Me and Fets were here. Didn't think, much out of this New Jersey team. Johnny Zorbs joins the roster. The boys won a 4-game win streak. The winning streak comes to an end because Zorbs took a nap. I mean, I think that's the one thing with this New Jersey team that shows me red flags is Los and Zorbs needs to be there. You know,
Zords needs to wake up. He needs to sleep the day before.
Johnny got.
It's like Johnny needs to play. If Johnny doesn't play, then they don't win. That's hands down. Los needs to make sure that Zorbs wakes up to play the goddamn match, and he is well rested and he's ready to go. Because New Jersey, with Los and Zorbs, is probably the best duo I've seen since the Los and Potato duo back in BO6. They need to figure that out.
Right.
You cannot have these guys fucking sleeping all day. And I understand that he's grinding. And I understand they put him through the scrims and he slept and he did the 24 hours or whatever. But let's lock it in here. Lock it. All right? Because at the end of the day,
we're getting back there.
that is bread and butter right there.
Hold on.
That is bread and butter for New Jersey. That is bread and butter. Yes, we're going backwards. Why is all of a sudden I want to go backwards and everybody's?
I'm gonna have to go over the rules once again too at the end. I'll
no, that's fine. But like the minute I want to go backwards,
posting
like
all of this in the Discord afterwards, anyways.
Dude, the minute I want to go backwards, they want to like tug on my wiener. It's insane. Like, dude, we're going backwards for a reason. Because you see how you guys are like, I want to see pool 8? Yeah, that's why. That's why we're going backwards. Fucking goddamn it, man. Anyway.
But in
Texas Doberman is getting relegated.
This pool gets interesting, man. This is one of the interesting pools, man, where I don't know who's gonna come out of this one. Like, I do believe New Jersey and West Coast come out of this one. I want to believe that, but I do believe West Coast comes out of this because the word on the street is that the West Coast Riders are a force to be reckoned with. The boys are hooping, and as long as Zorb shows up, I mean, New Jersey hasn't lost the series
Yeah.
with Zorbs there either, right? So
Yeah. Sorry, I found a little bit of weed. So
yeah, no, you're true, man. And then obviously me and you haven't seen much of it in Texas Doberman. We've heard rumors and whispers of.
Well, I'll tell you this: I've seen Matthias run a team in other leagues, and it's not terrible.
No, that's also what I was told.
That's all I would say. It's not terrible, but I think the continuity has to come into play here. I think the word of the day is continuity. Look it up. I'm telling you right now, New Jersey, like I said, they need Zorbs to play. That's part of continuity. Michigan is going to play with those same 4 guys, right? Like, I think that's going to be the biggest key here. And then the West Coast Riders is at WCR. They are going to beat you. I think they can beat you. And I think you're right. I think WCR compared to MJ, like, that's going to be 5 maps. That's going to be close. With Zorbs and Los, that's going to be, I think that's going to be for Los, New Jersey in a whole, as well as Relax, right, and Pain. I think that's going to be the biggest testament to their pedigree, right? Because now they got to play a D-League team that is on the insane come-up. Probably the biggest come-up I've seen since
outside of
fucking...
maybe, New York.
Right, right. Say with New York, but we know about New York.
I mean, yeah, New York is not really.
We know New York.
They're staple. They're
right.
A staple in the season.
Wait, no, we don't. Like, mind you, like in terms of you and I, Clout, we don't really know West Coast Riders, right?
No,
like New York Impact, we know E has retained Bears, signed him to a big contract.
Yep.
He's still on New York, right? Roomba is still there, right? So we know that. But then for West Coast Riders, like we only seen flashes of them. Now we see this guy, fucking Bugs, right? And what was the other guy's name?
I don't know. I don't know if chat knows. But I will say though, New Jersey or any of the West Coast Rider players are in the chat. When you guys schedule this match, please DM me and Fets.
Yeah, it's gonna be Muzi. Like everyone's saying, yeah, please, hit me up
because we will catch.
Yeah.
This.
Oh yeah, hit us up if I'm available. I've been busy, but I got a test Wednesday. I'm fucking. I've been so locked. Yeah, but I will absolutely do it.
Half of us are in school again.
Oh, by the way, I will say this: if anybody is fluent in Spanish, please hit me up. That's all I'll say for the chat. I gotta use the platform here and just help me out here because I'm good at Spanish, but this other shit is insane. But anyway, that's another story. But I'm gonna say New Jersey and West Coast Riders. That is. Like Chapo and Bugs are 2 4-pointers that are, again, I think when you enter the main league, they're up there in top 4-pointers, and I think they're gonna play Zorbs, who is I've heard, and this is a disclosure from Anonymous because I'm not gonna reveal who the 2 to 3 people who have said this quote, but that Zorbs is a quote unquote fake 4-pointer, so we're gonna see. right? Because if I'm hearing
Catch
that
and
and I
trade,
do a pod with
Jesus.
Clouter, I've got to take that into consideration because Zorbs is obviously the greatest 4-pointer we've seen since sliced bread. So we're going to slice that bread up and see if they can make a sandwich against West Coast Riders. So that's going to be the biggest thing, right? But now Bugs and Chapo have been unbelievably great, right? In the D League, and everybody in chat is saying, "Boom! Like these guys are legit. This is going to be cinema.
Yep.
This is going to be a movie." Multiple people said it, so we expect. So Clouder and I are going to come back next week
I'm
and then
with
be
you.
like,
I
"Holy
think-
shit!" Right?
Yeah, I
Can you
think
imagine?
New Jersey West Coast are going to go 1-2, but I don't want to give shade to Michigan or Texas either because they could also take the number 2 spot and really shock us here too. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god.
Which man,
First
if we
person to
see-
hit
if we
cream at
see-
CxP.
If we see New Jersey or West Coast in a relegation game, bro, like holy bro. If we see New Jersey in a relegation game, oh boy.
That's what I'm saying. That's like
That's the
big
interesting twist
upset.
to all this, bro.
Right, 100%. But I will say this: wow, yeah, we gotta wait. We gotta see what Texas Dobermans. But like I said, like I think Michigan is one of the more consistent, besides maybe West Coast Riders, because apparently they play all the time with each other. So continuity's there. Michigan again plays, and we've seen Carlos play. You and I casted one of the last Michigan matches with Carlos, and we saw how they play Overload. We're sitting there like, why are they the best Overload team? Oh, because Carlos literally does his shit. Like he does that's what I'm
They
saying.
really know how
If
to
he
get,
gets
they know how to get map control. Oh fuck.
if they get
Great
support,
center, crack beer.
Michigan's right there. But anyway, let's move on to B and A and B. Clouter,
and
I'm gonna
B.
let you take this. What you can start whatever you want.
Pool B?
I'm going to rip this fucking tall boy.
Oh, you do that. All right. Well, we're gonna hit into Pool B. Obviously, Pool B consists of Paris, Texas, East Coast, and Minneapolis. I think coming into this, we all know that Minneapolis didn't have the best major. Pomas did his best to have some type of competitive team. Obviously, they didn't have the start they wanted, starting off 0-7. I think they ended the season 2-9. So I mean, in their last couple weeks, at least they stringed on a few Ws. You know, I don't know if this Minneapolis team has what it takes. I mean, in Pool B, obviously Paris being the heavy hitter here. I mean, the number 1 S&D team in the league outside of New Jersey. Obviously, the resurgence of the Dat Boy and Kane duo just looks absolutely scary coming into this pool. I've heard a lot of great things about the East Coast Bandits. Me and Feds seen Rose play when they substituted in for New Jersey. And played a very solid game, held their own. Looked like a solid 4-pointer, and very interesting to see how they will play with the team in East Coast. But yeah, I definitely have Paris coming out of this one for sure, without a doubt. I feel like they can take Texas. The Texas team, I think the Texas team is rebranded once again. I mean, Texas is also good in Overload. I think the only thing, I'm jumping on multiple points here, but I'll go back. I'll stick with Paris for a second before I jump into the 17 different strands of conversation. But I think the only thing that Paris struggles with is the Overload. Now, I think since the addition of that boy, their Overload has got extremely better. I think that we're going to see a big difference in their Overload than what we have seen all regular season with that boy and Kane as that duo coming in Paris. And I mean, from Texas, Texas hardpoint right now is still looking a little bit shaky throughout the league. Texas having a hardpoint of, I mean, going 4 and 13 in their hardpoints. Having a .96 KD. I mean, Paris. I mean, and then they're going head to head between them and Paris. I mean, Paris 11-7 with a 1.02. Who else is here? And then Minneapolis going 1-12 in their hard points. I mean, Paris is just the best hardpoint team out of all these teams. Well, out of the three, out of Texas and Minneapolis. Obviously, I don't have anything on East Coast, but I have heard that East Coast Bandits are a real solid roster. So it's gonna be really interesting to see them play. Obviously, Paris being the best S&D team. Texas is 5-7 in the S&Ds, but all 5 of their wins have come from round 11 wins. So I mean, if Texas technically got that.
Wait. Say that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Say that one more time.
Texas has 5
Say
wins.
that was...
Texas has 5 wins in S&D, and all 5 wins have come with round 11 wins.
Get the. Oh, you did tell me this. Oh my god.
Texas,
I mean,
Texas has apparently like this X factor of clutching in round 11s. So I think that's like the only thing. I mean, at this point, I know it's Texas, and I know a lot of people have different mixed opinions about Texas, but I mean, man, these boys get to round 11 and they clutch up, and I mean, the only time they win S&D is in round 11. Besides that, they've lost every other S&D they play. If it doesn't go to round 11, they lose. So I think, man, if you're Texas, I mean, I guess you got to force round 11 or at least figure out your S&D game. I mean, you get into these tight situations where you're ready to clutch up and they come out on top. I mean, Minneapolis is 1-9 in S&D, probably one of the worst S&D teams in the league. Towards the end of it, so I mean, you have the best S&D team and the worst S&D team and on top of that with an S&D team who only apparently wins in round 11. So S&D is going to get real interesting in this pool. And then obviously coming into the overload, Paris being 3-7 in the overloads with a 0.9. Their overload is definitely their weakest point here in Paris. Minneapolis is 3-7, also with Paris, or tied with Paris with 3-7. Roughly, Minneapolis and Paris have roughly around the same stat line when it comes to overload, almost identical. And I think the best overload team here, without knowing anything about East Coast, is gonna be Texas. Texas is 6-4 with a 1.08, and they average 4 points per game. And they have a higher plus minus than Paris and Minneapolis. So these matches are going to be very, very, very interesting to watch. I do believe Paris is going to come out of Pool B on top just because of just how Kane and that boy are just in sync right now, and they're hot. And this Texas team, I think they're constantly going through roster changes, and I mean, I think me and you seen the same thing in BO6. It was just no continuity in their roster. They're always changing it up, and I don't know if that's going to be a factor moving into the playoffs. I mean, we're roster locked now, but just seeing how this team performs in the playoffs, and then Minneapolis. I mean, Minneapolis have started to string a couple W's around. Do I think it's enough? No, but they could have an upset. I mean, Feds, if I'm looking at Pool B, I think we're going to have Paris and East Coast, and then we're going to have a Texas and Minneapolis duel for relegation. And I think Minneapolis might get relegated here just on the season they had. And I mean, they have all the rights to prove me wrong, but obviously looking at Pool A and Pool B, obviously how the season has gone for two of those teams, we can kind of make the assumption on who we think is going to get relegated from these pools. Just based off the bad seasons they had. But yeah, I definitely have it Paris, East Coast, Texas, and Minneapolis for the 1-4 in Pool B.
Yeah, I have the same thing. East Coast Bandits would be your second team coming into the main league. I mean, already in the main league, but they would second team coming into the championship bracket. Sorry, since they came into the main league, the Texas and Minneapolis will be playing a relegated match.
I think out of the pools we've talked about so far, I think that's
100%
an easy one to call.
The thing about Texas is, here's the biggest thing I'll say about Texas. This guy, Skizzy, is a great player. He is a really good 5-pointer. He has dropped 2.72s. He has dropped those numbers. He just can't have a team. He's just not there for leading the team as much as he can, right? He could play that boy role, right? I think that boy has played on teams where he doesn't own, right? Because he plays on teams like that. I'm just comparing him to like certain players, right, that play really well, but they just don't own. They don't like kind of run that team, right? And if they've had times where they run teams, they don't do a great job, right? I'm not saying Skizzy, right, it has to come, but I will say this, Skizzy, if you're out there, please buy a team or get a hold of your team if you can and build a team, because you're playing, or find a team that you could play on that needs a 5-pointer starting spot, because you showed that you could do well and shoot. But how does you playing with a very, very core young pointers that really just don't play well, unfortunately. And I'll say that much. If Skizzy has that chance, that he should do that. But Skizzy is, unfortunately, right now has the Texas curse. And I'm hoping he could break that Texas rattlesnake curse in the playoffs. I'll say that much. East Coast Bandits, from Rose, apparently in chat. I know Rose, we've seen in that New Jersey match, so that was great. But Prometheus, I think Prometheus actually DM'd me the other day. Not gonna lie. So Prometheus has the 1-pointer evaluate, I think is a 3 or
Who
something
else is
like
on
that.
team?
So
Because they're also a solid team too. East sent me
let
some
me pull it
stats
up
too on
right now.
how
Yeah,
how they did as
I
well.
was just looking at it as you're talking. 100%. Yeah. When I look back, and again, continuity is a little bit there because this team was posted at December 31st, 2020. 2025. So December 31st, 2025. This roster was posted of Ghost, Evaluate, Rose, and I got you. I think that's what it is, but I think Rose is going to start. Evo, not it's a different player. So they've definitely changed it up. So hopefully they're going to play well. I think they will. I think they absolutely
Reaper, are you on
beat
the
the.
East Coast? Who's your squad? Give me and Fets the rundown
Yeah,
of the
give me a
squad.
deal. He said it earlier.
Oh, did
But
he?
I thought
Oh,
Evo.
fuck.
Yeah, I thought Evo was Evaluate, but Evaluate is not Evo. So whoever this Evo guy is, but again, I think from what we know from the, I think I've seen Prometheus play a little bit, but we've definitely seen flashes of Rose, and I think East Coast Bandits with the
The touch pack on it though.
playoffs they have, I think they have a good solid record, and I think they make it.
I gotta come back to the point of how cool this D League come up is, because like you said, now we have, and it's good for like people coming up to realizing what me and you do, because like obviously Reaper is obviously new. East Coast Bandits coming up to the CxP, so hopefully Reaper, we can, hopefully you guys make a good run at it, and you can see you guys can see what me and Fets cook up over here, and how we keep track of all your team stats and stuff like that, and it'd be cool to see how your guys' team do in the CxP if you guys make it up as well. Same goes for West Coast Riders and obviously New York Impact. He knows how we do shit. And obviously Plattsburgh and all the other D League teams and Texas Doberman. It's gonna be cool in Major 2 that if some of these teams make it, it's gonna be cool to track their journey through CxP as well.
Another hot take though, I think Minneapolis does not win.
You know what I hope for this Minneapolis team. You know what I thought about the name for this Minneapolis
I didn't mean to
team?
cut you off. I
you know what I thought about
I
this
can't do
Minneapolis
it.
team?
I can't keep a straight face and say they're going to win a match.
You know what
I can't keep a straight face and say that. You know what I mean?
For this Minneapolis team, if they do get relegated, I hope when we come back for Major 2, they're like a top team, and they're like, when we hear they're like,
I really do hope so. Me too.
I hope that this team is like 7-1, tearing up the fucking D League.
Yeah, like they're the best team ever, man. Like they're better than Stanford or some shit.
And we go, Minneapolis,
like we're gonna.
it's back in the Major 2 pool play, bro. They're back from blood.
That's the shit.
That's another thing. I hope the teams that get relegated into D League, and if the team owners are in chat, if you guys do get relegated by chance, I mean, man, just stay playing in the D League, man. I mean, to be fair, if you tear it up in the D League, you're not gonna miss it on the prize pools. I mean, you come right back here, and I mean, this is the opportunity here. You can see it here now. I mean, you place top 4 in the D League, you get put right back in this position again, and all you gotta do is place top 2 or top 3, and you're back in the CxP again, right? So,
There's people passionate.
Because I think
there's people passionate in the relegation, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I think the goal for E and the CxP is they want continuity, and I think for me and Fets as well, we want continuity because it'd be cool to see, like I just said with Minneapolis, it'd be cool to see if they get relegated, and then in 2 months down the road when we're doing our Major 2 pool play, to see Minneapolis back here if they do get relegated. I know I'm picking on them a lot, but obviously if it was any other team coming back up.
Nah, fuck it.
You know
what do you mean stop picking? They fuck that. They listen. They have not played, but I agree. I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking like Stephen A right now. Like, this is insane. Like, there's no way they could. I'm not even. I only said it because I know the players on Minneapolis, so I'm gonna say that. But I'm telling you right now,
we've been wrong
they
before.
lost it. They beat Texas, but they had a different roster at the time that isn't playing. I don't think in the same. So that is a questionable roster that I have, unless Hayes and God, what's his other name? Are going to play the duo that played. What's his name? Allsight. That dude, Allsight. AUCITE. Allsight or whatever his name.
You know what I will do, chat, for everyone in the chat right now just joining. I'm gonna review the pool. I'll put up all the pools total again after me and Fets are done pool A, and I'll redo over the rules one last time. And
Yeah.
then I think E is going to post all of it in the cord sometime tonight. I'm pretty sure. And if I'm wrong in that, E, and you're in the chat, please confirm that. If not, I'm pretty sure. I thought this was me and you talked about, because I definitely ain't doing it.
Yeah, I would agree. Reason I do agree. I think they do have the current Patriot like segue into out of pool play. I think this is very an easy schedule for them, in my opinion, based on what I've seen. But I am expecting at least East Coast Bandits to make noise here, and I think Texas, Minneapolis go on relegation, and unfortunately Minneapolis will go 0-3, and they will be bounced out of there. It's not even a question. They shouldn't even play the relegation match.
And I think it's
They
the
even
same
have
for
a chance.
Pool A.
They're
I
terrible.
think me and you have the top 3
Fuck
for Pool
terrible.
A.
I like East Coast Bandits. I think Texas against Skizzy has not shown me that he could play with his team, but unfortunately, I think he's playing with a handicap. Unfortunately, Phenom, Palsy. Who else is? This is not enough. It's just
Is
unfortunately
Z-Lot
that's
playing
just
for them, or
terrible.
he's playing in D League. I think Z-Lot's in D League, so I don't think he's playing. With them.
Z-Lot's ain't even play. Z-Lot's not even playing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Z-Lot's
Texas is just sitting there
on the Texas D League team.
Texas will forever be in limbo until I can actually put them there. But Skizzy has the chance
top
to
three
really
make it. If you're top three, you make it. But if you're third place, you have to play. You have to win the relegation match.
Yeah, if Etheric fucking gives the torch to fucking Skizzy, I'd be so happy with it for Major 2. I want to see it. Like, you could go do what you want, right?
Okay, I gotta stop you for a second here, because I just for that boy, and I will go over it again. On screen here, you guys see the red line going across. If your team is underneath the red line, you have to play the other team that's underneath the red line, and you guys are playing in what is going to be called, in a relegation match. If you win the relegation match, you stay up in the CxP for next major. If you lose the relegation match, you will be demoted to the D League for a season. So you're not technically safe if you place third, but you have to play in an extra match. Now, obviously, there's some pools here, as I will show them at the end, where the pools look kind of fucking tough as balls, and you don't want to get in there. Like, obviously, me and Fets doing obviously these Pool A and Pool B. Obviously, we're gonna pick on Minneapolis and Tawana because they had pretty rough seasons. Those teams are on the chopping block to be relegated if you're looking at these pools. If we pan over to C and D, it gets a lot more complicated. Because any of these teams here can cause an upset and send another team down to the D League. And I think that's just a big interesting part about this new transition. But I'm gonna go over. I'll go over all that after we're done moving on to Pool A, which is probably a good one to pump to, because I think Pool A is gonna be the same thing. I think Tawana is gonna be towards the bottom here because they're going through some roster issues right now. As much as I love the Tater Tot, I don't know, man. I mean, 1-10. I mean, they gotta haul some shit out of their ass to come here. I mean, Plattsburgh's on a tear in D League from what we heard. Honestly, Feds, you know what my hot take is? I think Stanford and Plattsburgh come out of this pool 1-2.
Wow, I like that. I fucking love that shit.
Detroit, Tawana,
oh my god,
in the
I could definitely
match,
see that happening.
I can see Detroit taking Tawana just because.
But I think
you know what I mean.
I like what they're doing. I think they have, like I said, ever since.
Like, we look at it here now.
Kaori, listen, I think that whatever happened in the ownership office, that definitely changed. They are winning and losing, but I think they have enough to stay relevant in this league. I think
what I've been told, this Plattsburgh team is hot. They're just as.
Oh yeah, they're fucking steaming.
Coast.
They're steaming hot.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and seeing them play against Stanford is going to be.
They could. Yeah,
that could be a really fun series to watch.
I need to see Plattsburgh and fucking Detroit.
And Plattsburgh and Detroit should be a really
I don't even want to
series.
watch a Stanford matchup.
Stanford's
I think they win every match.
Number one in heart. Obviously, Stanford is the best respawn team in the league right now. That we just went over that a little earlier in the power rankings. I mean, number one in hardpoint, number one in overload. Obviously, Detroit is 6-10 in hardpoint with a .97. Tawana, I don't have much stats for them.
I gotta see like a New Jersey Pool B switch, swap pool Texas out for
S&D
New Jersey.
Is interesting because if
want to see that Paris.
If we wanted,
that's what I'm saying.
A weak point for Stanford.
This is an easy walk for Stanford.
If there's a weakness in Stanford, it's going to come in the S&D, and I think that's where it's going to come. And that's where Detroit is excelling in right now is the S&D. So I don't know the S&D, and there's the COD way of S&D wins championships. So We don't know. I think if there's a weakness in Stanford, it's going to be in the S&D because these boys just run your shit in respawn. And
Yeah, I
mean,
think Skip's plays PvP as well.
Detroit also he does.
He does, right? Yeah, I knew it.
Detroit also being one of the top overload teams.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah,
think
right. Yeah,
I think for Tawana and Plattsburgh, you really got to take control of your overload matches because I don't think Stanford.
yeah,
I think Stanford and Detroit are going to win those overloads, and I think the overloads are becoming more and more crucial now than ever because those are super team heavy, where you have to be super coordinated with your team with your pushes. And yeah, Stanford and Detroit have just proven this year. I mean, Stanford 9-1 in overload. I mean, the boys know how to run overload. So, but yeah, if I'm
yeah.
any of these teams to close off before I let you go on, I think if you want to take down the behemoth that is Stanford, you take them in S&D. You got to find a way to steal respawn
Yeah.
and try to take the S&D from them. And if not, uh, they're gonna run your shit and respawn.
I like the Detroit. I like that Detroit argument you made. I agree. I don't have any doubt that. Like I agree with the first one too, because Detroit. I'm sorry, Stanford and I could see Plattsburgh coming out of this because that dude
I can
Diz
see
is a
Plattsburgh
I think
versus
5 or
Detroit
6
being a
pointer.
heavy.
He's
Plattsburgh and
really
Detroit's
good.
gonna be a heavy matchup, and East Coast and
Hydra.
Texas is gonna be a heavy matchup.
I think we watched Hydra play before, and Hydra's on
I
that team as well.
think we did, yeah.
Yeah, the Hydra, the fake Hydra, whatever you want to call him. I mean, I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did. He was on Bermuda or one of the. I think he was on Bermuda or something like that. So,
That's also true.
he was on one of
Definitely,
those
you're right.
teams.
Yeah, if you're winning the hardpoint in S and Ds like Paris is, like you like in Paris's situation, yeah, you guys are winning the hardpoint in S and Ds. So I mean, yeah, your weakness is in the overload, but I mean, fuck yeah, if you win map 1 and 2 and you lose map 3, I mean, as long as you regain from map 4, you're chilling.
The Jersey won 8-1 in the
You
overload
see
against
the
Paris.
DMs. No, my DMs in
Just
Discord
so you
are
know.
constant. I miss so much shit in DMs because all my shit is
Yeah,
muted.
I think, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
this is
yeah,
just
yeah, you know.
pool of death and relegation. This is pool of death and relegation. But once we go past these two parts, right? Because we're gonna see,
Yeah, I got you, Diz.
the regular pool play, gauntlet of death, sudden death pool play, whatever you want to call it, right? Then we see relegation match. Those is where it's really gonna come down. Like who's gonna go down into the D League, right? That I think that's the biggest story, right? I feel like
Yeah.
on another level compared to like who's going to be moving on right to play in the actual champs bracket, right? Because we break it down so methodically to the point where we have this moment of like, oh, we're going to go into relegation, like we're going to go down to the D League, right? We don't sniff the main league for another season, right? So like you got to understand, right? Like this is do or die, come home, come big, right? And I think Platts has been playing really well. But I don't think Tijuana. I don't even know. I don't think I've ever seen them play, and I don't think they've been
They
winning
only
matches.
came up and they've only played like 1 or 2 matches. Yeah, like
Right,
I
so
could
it's
read their
like
stats, but their stats are like obsolete because they
right.
only played 2 matches.
There's no
So
one
it's
there.
it's kind of like up in the air, right? That's why I didn't really include Dallas's stats
Ghost
into the power
Town.
rankings until it got more solidified. I mean, once they're 5-1 in HP, I mean you gotta make note of that they're 5-1 in hardpoint, but uh. So I take a
Yeah,
nice
Tijuana is
sip
like
of my
the you
cold
know
beer.
you ever play Arc Raiders and like you see like a buried city and like they're trying to open a drawer. There's no drawers to open, but it's a big fucking rooftop. There's just nothing to goop or nothing to loot. Why would they put that whole fucking thing there? Like, why?
That's
What's the point
Tawana.
of that? That is Tijuana. That is literally Tijuana. That's the best way I could put it, right? If you play Arc, that is like why they have like a whole like hallway on spaceport that like you can't goop, but you got to go to the second floor.
Not
but
in
like
three
why put
reason.
that there? Why put that there, right? But it's for shelter and whatever it is, right? If you're fighting PvP, but like what's the point?
No reason.
That
All
is
right.
Tijuana.
While you're cut, yeah, no reason you.
No, you're good. I'm done.
No, I see reason they're trying to figure out. You guys are 9-2 in the S&D. Paris is 8-3, but Paris also has a 1.18 KD in S&D after the week of playing you guys, and they're also a +20 round differential, which is 6 more than you guys.
9-3 NJ. You
You
said.
missed all that at the start. No, it's not. They were 9-2, I think. I think it's 9-2, and I think Paris
And
was
now they're
8-3.
9-3,
But where
right?
Paris had the +20 round differential, which was a big gap they got when they played New Jersey, and their KD also shot up a shitload.
You
when
want to
they
know the
played New Jersey.
craziest thing about that New Jersey matchup though, against Paris? The first 3 rounds, New Jersey did not have a kill.
Yeah,
Uh,
the KD
New
was
Jersey
I'm pretty sure when I did it,
was
I can tell you right now
0
what
through
the
3 rounds.
Hold on,
No
now,
one got a kill.
Let me look in my book because when I looked at it, I thought it was fucking. I was punching.
And
I gotta find it real quick.
Clouter and I sat in the booth trying to wait, and that was the second part of the doubleheader. That was when we actually got to see Zorbs. Now we did get to see Zorbs on that map 4, but now you get to a point where it's like,
Paris,
wake up, man.
Scar S&D,
You know,
the KD for the Paris New Jersey game. Paris had 31 kills to New Jersey's 18. So they almost had double the amount of kills that New Jersey had in the S&D.
if Zorbs plays that beginning from like if he's well rested,
it was a big chunk.
I'm gonna say this. It's a different ball game. New Jersey wins that 3-2. That's a hot take for me. That's how I feel. If Zorb started from the beginning to end,
but
from beginning to end,
but anyway,
like from like you know. But anyway, what happened? Paris won it. We all whipped that with that. But that is just what I think. But at the end of the day, these are your pools. This is your pool. Your pools for
the major
sudden death.
I guess
sudden death and relegation.
Yeah, sudden death and pools.
Sudden death and relegation. I don't know if any chat has any more comments.
This is the pools right here. I'm going to whip up the rules again. How this is gonna go. Oh shit! You know what I will do actually? Hold on. Now I'm gonna open that back up. Open it right here. Obviously this is the schedules. Obviously as is. Everyone's obviously playing each other here, so we're gonna have Stanford versus Tawana, blah 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 blah. This is technically your schedules. He's gonna have all that posted up in schedules, I guess, shortly. This is obviously Pool C's matches. This match turns me on. Moving on.
Also, I will say this: I just got a DM. Plattsburgh was the only team to beat New York Impact in the D League. I think that's what I am reading right now.
Shit, dog.
Let me just double check. I'm not gonna. It's anonymous.
While Fets is checking that out, I'm gonna run this over one in case anyone's new is working. This is how pool play is gonna work. So obviously,
we beat New York. Only lost New York. Got in the D League. Yeah. This is huge, guys.
So
take a look. This is how it's formatted.
Yeah, this is how it's gonna work. Obviously, if you tuned in a little bit late, obviously you're gonna play in a round robin with your seedings, which was the pool shown prior. The top 2 teams in each pool. The tiebreakers are determined by head-to-head. So it's not going to go by map count. It's going to go by head-to-head. So top 2 teams in each pool after round robin will advance to Major 1 tournament, and they will play for the Major 1 prize pool. With the other 4 teams that are confirmed for Major 1 tournament are Toronto, Miami, OVO, and Dallas. Those are the only 4 teams confirmed for the Major 1 tournament as of right now because they all secured buys in their selective pools for winning their divisions in the regular season. The 3rd and 4th place teams in each division, they will play in a relegation match. The loser of the said relegation match will be demoted to the D League. And obviously on the right, I have scheduled due to change. Raz said he might change these, he might not. Obviously February 9th to 18th will be your pool play matches, a week and a half. Myself and E asked me what would be the best thing to give a day for Valentine's Day on Saturday, where that's that weekend. We're going to extend it a little bit, plus where it's 3 matches. Gives everyone a time to get their best rosters together and be able to play their matches with their best rosters available. I think the only one here that might be subjected to change would be the relegation matches. We might extend the relegation matches to the end of the Major 1, as might get extended to March 1st as well. Trying to want to get those relegation matches done as soon as possible. But if they get extended, I don't think it's a major deal. And then February 18th to March 1st is the beginning of the Major 1 tournament. And obviously the scheduling of how we usually do those, of when round 1 needs to be completed by round 2, blah, 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 blah. Eraz or one of the other higher up admins will have that in place for everyone to know. As for podcast standards, as this show goes, there will be no show next Monday. We're going to go live on the 18th when pool play ends. If you're new here and don't know how me and Fetch usually do this, we're gonna go through a whole bracket. We're gonna do our bracketology. We're gonna give our predictions on who we think is gonna come out of the major once all the teams are selected. We're gonna go through a whole bracket. I'll have a bracket up on screen where me and Fetch are gonna put in the map count and go all the way through to the end to who me and Fetch deem who's gonna win the whole tournament. And pretty much go over pool play and the same thing we did today. This is me and Fets'
yeah.
favorite time of year to do this because this is like
This
the
is the
part of the show.
best. This is when the pod is hot. If you
It's when
come
the
and
tables are hot,
like,
this
oh, it
big
is.
now.
But bracketology, CxP bracketology is. This is the second year we're doing this for a new title, right, Clouter?
Yep.
Like, it's just the third bracket because we did major
our fourth playoffs, I think.
fourth one, right? That's fourth
I think
that we've done
it's
together for bracketology. And we kind of like do what we plug in. Like we literally go and we go through the whole bracket, losers and uppers, and we literally plug in. Like who you and I think like that we're gonna
12,
make
top
through
8,
and
top 6, top
we kind
4,
of
all the way to
and
the
we
end.
see how like we were completely wrong on that major 4, but we were
been
pretty
wrong on
kind of
all of
close.
them.
Yeah,
Well, we never
but
get one
we're
right.
getting closer. We're getting closer.
We are.
Everybody just plays so differently once playoff starts, and I think that's really where it really comes down to. But yeah, Chloe and I will be taking a small, tiny vacation to the Bahamas. Where we're gonna cook up some more ideas.
Monday, but we're gonna come by Wednesday, 5 p.m.
And then
PST.
Wednesday is gonna be the 18th, right? So that is gonna be the
and then
biggest.
After the 18th, me and Fets aren't back till March 2nd, the day after the Major 1 tournament's over, and then we'll give our full recap, and do all that.
That's definitely gonna be a hefty one. The one we come back to is gonna be hefty.
What I'm told, after the Major 1 tournament, there's gonna be a week off of no matches for Roster Mania before Major 2 kicks off on March the 8th. So Major 2 is planning to kick off on March the 8th. So from March 1st to March 8th, everything's going to be open, and that's where we're going to see a fuck ton of roster moves. Hopefully when me and Fets go live on the 2nd, we see some roster moves live because that's also crazy. We have some red alert signings and stuff. But yeah, and then March 8th, we jump right into Major 2. So, I think that's mostly it for pool play this week. I think anyone now can start scheduling matches. I don't know if the Discord's been popping off, but obviously as of right now, everyone is good to start scheduling their matches for pool play matches.
If you guys are playing tonight,
me and Fets
just DM me. If we are around, we will be in the booth together.
Yeah, I know.
100%.
I know Fets is in school and he's doing his own thing, but usually this time of year, I guess this time around, I do my best to be available for all casting purposes. So if anyone's ever stuck for a caster, just tag me in the CxP chat, and I can be available to cast. I usually like casting the playoff matches. These are the big ones.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to try to be as available as I can. I've just been busy. I've just been super busy, boys. I'm so sorry. I deeply apologize on my behalf. It's just been a busy fucking last couple of weeks. So, especially this week and the weeks to come by. So I'm going to try to fit in as much time as I can for you guys and for Clouter as well, because
I want to say another thing too. I know that as of the guests we've been talking to get them on, obviously with how me and Fets' IRL schedule and life is going right now, by the time I get to do all the graphics and get everything done, I kind of forget about certain stuff. Like T, if you're in the chat now, I definitely totally forgot about your part of the show for this week, but we're gonna include that probably after this major tournament's over, if that's cool with you. I know you're probably gonna be cool with it anyways, because we chill like that. But
it was unexpected.
Major two, we're gonna get into more guests and get into Splashy's segment that he announced on the pod a couple weeks back, and probably try to get some clips in here as well. There's a lot of moving things going on with me and Fets right now, so once all that gets situated and simmered down a little bit, we'll have more shit.
I'll better simmer down soon. It's been pretty busy, but I want to cast as much as I can. I know I was gonna say I was casting a couple times.
PP shooter, bro, you better prove it to us. We need to see results.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like I want to see maybe after if you give me something good. If it was like prime
MVP
skips
dope,
back in Dallas,
back those
like I need Dallas skips for BO6. That's it.
Dallas
MVP
BO6 was
back though. I appreciate you, bro. Hell yeah, we need that.
Back though, and I will spoil. We were gonna have back
I know,
today,
I know.
But
we will get this going.
To me, and shout out E2 for enjoying the pod too much, a lot to have me and Feds do this, man, and I guess sponsor it, in a way. Because this is
this is a good sponsor. Sponsored by Eraz, Sam,
the Orange Man himself.
Sam himself. Shout out Sam, the greatest person to put this together, and everybody behind it. The back end of everything. I know Perk has a lot of involvement in those guys. Seven with the graphics. in CxP. I know you're a busy man. You just moved, but shout out Seven. Shout out Seven because I know it's burned a little bit. I know people say it's burned, but we need to. We'll get that consistency going, and don't worry. I'm done making my juices. You actually take the oranges and juice them? No way.
Probably does, man.
Yo, if anybody has a effective juicer for me, please send me the link. I need a juicer because I want to
be some banger matches. Come back and play, man.
Diz had a 1.68 in Bay League. Yeah, I saw Diz sent me some stuff. I saw them. Yeah, it looks like Plattsburgh does look good.
Man. Plattsburgh looks good.
Yeah, they look great.
Man.
Diz, Zip, Hydrate, and Skips. I think that could be a team in the main league. 100%. I just bought a juicer. Yeah. Send me the. I need the link to the juicer. Like I need actual I need the serial number of what you got. I need all that because I need to get myself a juicer myself. That would be really cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh shit! While you're closed, you want to say anything? Well, I'm closing.
Oh yeah.
YouTube, obviously, all VODs will be up there in the link for anyone that missed it earlier, or you can just watch it on my Twitch again. You can also do that as well if you so do. And that's your boy Fets. Drop that man a big follow if you haven't already. He is definitely one of the main number one casters for CxP, so he's usually always casting matches. Give that man a follow. But yeah, no, obviously this week is super hectic. It's gonna be super crazy. Me and Feds can't wait to get some cast in, and then like I said, we're gonna be back here Wednesday, February 18th. I got nothing else, Feds, unless you do.
I'll say a quick soliloquy, and I think we're good. Basically, I just wanted to say, thank you for first of all, thank Clouter with the graphics. That meme where it says I did my part, I didn't do fucking shit. That was all Clouter. That was all Clouter. Please give. I show up, but Clouter really does that graphics.
Your A-list.
The A-list, yeah, it's there. But Clouter really just puts a lot of time in, and Clouter deserves a lot of respect and the recognition for all of this because he's the one who brought up the idea, and we ran with it. And shout out to everybody that comes up and shows up every single day, every single week, I guess, or every other week. You guys are amazing. Shout out all the teams that played, and like I said. Since the time I ever first was introduced to the CxP, they brought me in with some welcome arms, and these guys have been some of my best friends, coming through all this, and especially the new guys that come through and everything. So it's always an honor and a pleasure to be able to do this every week with the homeboy and the goat Clouter, and it's as I'm not trying to make it as deep and emotional as it's supposed to, but it really is to me because. This is really fun, and it's so awesome, and it's also it gives back to the people as much as we can. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm for the people.
There's fucking 3 more to go.
That's what I'm talking.
There's 3 more.
I love that. We got more. We want to do this for BO8 and BO9 and Modern Warfare 4. We're gonna be
at some point they're gonna stop and make a brand new title.
Listen, these connections are different because and I'm an old man. I'm 30, so this is when I'm 40, I want to keep doing this. I'm gonna still be there. Hopefully, I have some kids. I don't know. I'm gonna name one Clouter. Who knows? Name one Sam after. Who the fuck knows? Name anything. But at the end of the day, this is where this is actually fucking outstanding, and I appreciate you guys so much. And shout out to the league that allows us to do the things that we do, and I think it's great. And shout out Clouter for really. Again, getting the idea down, and this is they brought me with open arms, and now we're here doing this. So the time has been spent on it, and we just want to respect the time as much as we can. And I think you guys do a great job. But I really love you guys, and that's all I have for everything, man. But
that's all
I don't know if you got anything else.
We're gonna close it from there. We will be here Wednesday, February 18th, 5 p.m. EST, bro. We'll be here. And on that note, boys, peace.
Peace.